Hello, everybody. It's Chris from Black Land Ownership. I hope you're doing well. I want to let you know about the Black Land Ownership 6-week land literacy series. This 6-week course is designed to provide a comprehensive, practical understanding of land ownership in the United States, with a particular focus on rural land, long-term stewardship, and land retention. The goal of the program is to give potential land buyers as much information as possible to make informed, intentional decisions about acquiring, using, and holding land. The series approaches land ownership as a legal, administrative, economic, and ecological system rather than a single transaction. Participants will examine how history, policy, zoning, financing, stewardship, and time horizons interact to shape real-world land outcomes. The emphasis is on preparedness, clarity, and long-term viability. In terms of format, our series runs for 6 weeks. We'll meet once per week for about an hour to 75 minutes, short biological break in between. Each session includes guided discussion, instruction, and participation. So make sure you have pen and pad, a notebook, some way of writing things down. We are going to be funneling you a lot of information. Sessions will be offered in Zoom, and if necessary, we can figure out an in-person version. We want to make sure everyone who wants the info can get it. In terms of topics covered, over the 6 weeks, participants will explore, in week 1, the history of land ownership in the United States and the policies that shape current ownership patterns. Week 2, land use classifications, zoning, and administrative controls that determine what land can be used for. Week 3, property acquisition pathways, ownership structures, financing options, and due diligence. Week 4, principles of stewardship, sustainability, and non-exploitative land use. Week 5, I plead the fifth, resale, long-term holding strategies, generational wealth, family resilience, and land retention. Week 6, synthesis, the real-world application. Are you ready to actually buy land, and how do you take that first step? And also, some areas for further study. Now, who is this series for? This series is open to participants of any level of experience. I mean, people who have no prior background in land ownership and people that may own 6 properties in a city and are thinking about conservation land, rural land, or etc. It's intended for individuals, families, collectives, and community-based groups who are considering land ownership or who want to better understand how land functions as a long-term asset and responsibility. This course is open to all community members, but keep in mind it was intentionally created to support those who have historically been marginalized. Many of the issues discussed are presented with an awareness of how identity, history, and structural conditions shape access to land and long-term security, safety. Black folks, women, LGBTQ+, undocumented folks, people who moved here from other countries, the intersection of those identities, they may have historically faced barriers to land ownership, and we especially encourage members of those communities to participate. At the same time, this series remains open and welcoming to anyone committed to learning, reflection, and responsible land ownership. In terms of cost, this series is $489 for the 6 sessions. Contributions support ongoing education, research, and land-based work through Black Land Ownership. Payments can be made via check, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, and we do take crypto. If you'd like to contribute or come in as a guest speaker, hit me up. We welcome guest speakers with experience in land ownership. You do not have to have a PhD or if you've been on the land and you have land in the family and you have something to contribute, holler at me. If you have experience with land use, stewardship, law, finance, conservation, planning, related fields, we are looking for guest speakers and folks that have that level of experience. Just to give you a little background on Black Land Ownership, Black Land Ownership is an education, research, and land-based initiative focused on expanding Black ownership and diasporic ownership of land, particularly in rural and non-urban contexts, with a point to think about non-exploitative land use. The work centers on centralizing information, examining the historical and structural forces that shape land access, and supporting the acquisition, stewardship, and long-term retention of land. Through education, mapping, and direct land projects, we treat land as infrastructure for safety, autonomy, ecological responsibility, and intergenerational continuity. I don't see us as being partitioned from nature. I feel like humans are part of nature, and the earth and our environment and the land is one with us. And so we want to encourage people to have that feeling, to have that experience, feet and hands in the dirt. You see the birds and the squirrels running around, and fresh air, clean water. So yeah, hit us up if you're interested in the course. If you have any questions, I'm open. You always know how to reach me: email, phone call. You see me in the street, dap me up, give me a hug. Let's talk. All right, holler.
Black land ownership, yeah. Black land ownership, yeah. Black land ownership, yeah. Black land ownership, yeah.